Do not join with others in their odes to themselves, in singing their songs of self-assurance and self-validation. Remain silent and move on. You can sing about the mountain of life, or you can climb the mountain of life. If you climb the mountain of life, you don't know what's going to happen next. You only know that you have traveled it far enough to have learned something about traveling. You have learned to keep your eyes and your ears open and to not make gigantic assumptions about yourself or other people. You have learned to let your life develop, to keep going, and to build those things you know to build and to avoid those things you cannot build or should not build. Power is concentration. If your power, your concentration, is spread out over many things, you will not have enough power for anything. Become focused on a few people, a few things and a few ideas. Don't try to collect all the spiritual information. Avoid this. Don't try to gather anything that is unnecessary. Let knowledge move you to choose the things that you need rather than filling yourself with ideas, with books, with people, with experiences, with places to go and with things to do. In other words, don't clutter yourself with things that just have to be given up. Next, avoid someone else's spiritual journey. Do not dabble in different religions because you will only be a dabbler. You can only know a religion if you immerse yourself within it. And if you immerse yourself in it, how can you be studying everything else? There are many people who take a very eclectic approach, who try to gather a little of this and a little of that. They have postcards from all over the spiritual universe, but they have never been anywhere. They think they understand what Christianity or Buddhism or Islam or any other religion means, but they have never immersed themselves in any of them. They have never lived them fully. They have lots of big ideas and no wisdom. Avoid this. Avoid trying to tie in what you are doing with what someone else has done in the past or in the present. Do not make your way spiritual by saying that it is in keeping with Christianity or Buddhism or any other religion, for you don't really know. You have not yet gone far enough. Avoid collecting spiritual ideas. They are more things to clutter up your mind. Yes, they look fascinating, interesting and inspiring, but are they necessary? The word necessary is important because your life is necessary, and you do not want to fill it up with things that are not necessary. Keep what is either practically necessary or greatly inspirational to you. Leave everything else aside. Keep your mind open and fresh. Let your library of books be small and significant. Let your conversation be simple. Use very few words. Listen more than speak. Hold your tongue when others are being foolish. Resist the temptation to correct others, to improve their situation, or to dress them up to make them look better to you so that you will not have to judge them. Immerse yourself in the journey that is opening before you. Do not try to become a part of another person's journey. Your way will then be simple and less encumbered. And if your way leads into the wilderness of life where no roads have been made, then follow it. If you seem to move away from all that is familiar and all that seems justifiable, stay with that. Trust what is in you. It is returning you to something great. It is restoring self-love and self-reliance to you. It is bringing you back into relationship with knowledge and with the source of all knowledge. Avoid thinking you will be learning forever. This is not true. All avenues of learning have endpoints. There will come a time when you will not need to learn anything else in this world. That time is far ahead of where you are now. People think that they will be learning forever because they do not take their learning seriously. They think learning is like eating food. Well, you just keep eating more and you keep digesting and you keep eating more and more. Learning is not like eating food. It is not something you do to simply sustain yourself or to stimulate yourself. Learning is something that meets a great need in time. And this takes you somewhere. An advanced student of knowledge is not learning what a beginning student is learning. Actually, an advanced student of knowledge is learning new things while a beginning student is unlearning things primarily. Avoid judging your past. Until you can see your past clearly, until it is obvious and clear to you, just keep moving forward. Like climbing the mountain, you will reach certain points where you can look out and see where you have been. However, at other points you cannot see this because you do not have the right perspective. Stay with what is necessary. Stay with what is in front of you. Give your attention to a few things and to a few ideas. Next, avoid renouncing your worldly responsibilities. You need to build a foundation in the world in order to have a greater life. This means that you must maintain your health, your financial stability, and other things like this. Very rarely will you be asked to depart from something that seems to provide financial stability. Many people think spirituality is a wonderful place to escape to, where you leave the world and you go live another kind of existence. That is hiding out. There are times for retreat when you must seek reprieve and repose, but that is not your life. Maintain a sound foundation. Keep an accurate accounting of your life. Maintain your physical health. Then you will have a foundation upon which to build something greater. If you cannot pay your bills, you will not become a student of knowledge because your life will be about paying your bills. You cannot renounce the world, and do not think you have to. That is not your education. As a student of knowledge, your position in the world will change, and you will become liberated from many of its constraints. However, you were meant to be here and to be effective here. That is why wisdom is essential. If you were not in the world, you would not need wisdom to be in the world. But you are in the world, and you do need wisdom to be in here. Avoid denying your worldly responsibilities. Just do not let them overtake you. Live simply. Keep your affairs in order so that the world will require less from you, so that you will have the time, energy and attention necessary for learning greater things. Give what you must give. Do your work, but maintain time for your development, for this is preparing the way for something greater. Next, avoid impatience. Everyone is impatient when they begin. Everyone wants tremendous results with a minimal investment. Everyone wants a bargain from life where they have to give very little and get a great deal. Everyone wants to be comfortable and yet have all the rewards of an inspired life. Learn patience. You do not yet know what has to be unlearned and what has to be learned. You do not yet know how great the mountain is because when you are on the mountain, you can rarely see the summit. In fact, when you are on the mountain, you do not even know what it looks like as a whole. You just keep climbing. You keep going. You follow knowledge. If knowledge is quiet, you are quiet. If knowledge is being still, you are being still. If knowledge is moving, you are moving. If knowledge does not respond, you do not respond. This is freedom of an unparalleled quality. When you are impatient, you are exerting your personal will. You are trying to make things happen. You are impatient for the great rewards even though you have barely begun the journey. You are thinking of ways to elevate yourself to the top of the mountain. You are scheming and planning how you can get there without having to take the journey itself. These thoughts may pass through your mind infrequently or frequently. Recognize them for what they are and do not give them credibility. Next, avoid thinking that you do not know something when in fact you do know it. Until you have really penetrated and investigated a problem or a question in life, do not say you do not know. Do not throw up your hands and say, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Until you have looked into it. If it is something important and requires your attention, then look into it. Perhaps you know nothing. Perhaps you know a little. Perhaps you know a great deal. People disclaim what they know and claim other things that are far beyond their reach, and they cannot tell the difference because they are only dealing with things at the level of ideas and not at the level of deeper experience. At the level of ideas you can have anything, be anything, do anything, want anything, assume anything or associate with anything because you are functioning at the level of imagination. You are dreaming. However, your deeper experience gives a more accurate representation of where you are, what you know and what you don't know, what you have and what you don't have. Next, avoid making assumptions. As you advance, you will see how you make assumptions and you will become more aware of why you make them. Before that, you will simply make assumptions and be drawn into them. As you become more aware and more present to yourself in the moment, you will see your mind weaving a wonderful new idea, and you will be able to stop yourself and say, no. No, I don't think so. People are drawn to whatever looks attractive within their imagination and within the world. Do not make assumptions. Look. Occasionally you will know something. That is enough. In the meantime, the mind will want to create and create and create and fill in all the spaces with its explanations, goals, plans and everything else. Learn to be still. You do not know this journey. You are only following it. You are learning it as you go. You may think you understand where you have just been, but you will not understand this fully until you have gotten further up the mountain and can see where you were within the context of the greater aspects of your journey. Let your mind be open and quiet. Keep it simple. Within these things that we have mentioned, you will find other things that you will need to recognize and perhaps avoid. And you will recognize things that you need to claim. However, you will find as you proceed that your life will become simpler and simpler. You will be more focused and will have fewer things to think about. As you have fewer things to think about, and as your mind becomes more powerful and focused, your vision and experience will become more penetrating. You will be freed from being distracted by most of the things that captured your attention and your imagination before. And you will become stronger, for power is concentration, whether it is used for good or for evil. Knowledge will make what seems insurmountable and confusing simple, day by day. It will not explain things to you. It will simply demonstrate what is true. It will not fill your mind with great explanations and cosmologies, levels of existence and being and so forth. It will empty out your mind so that you can be present, so that you can see and know and so that knowledge and your mind can work together. You will want to avoid these things that we have mentioned because they hold you back, because they gamble your existence and because they waste your life. Here you will learn to say yes or no, instead of good or bad. There is a world of difference between these two evaluations. You will say yes when yes is needed. You will say no when yes is not present. You will stay close to life and close to knowledge. You will travel light, and your pace will quicken. You will pass by many things that would have stopped you before. And you will no longer recognize many things that drew you in previously. This represents advancement. This is what awaits you as you proceed. As your mind becomes more focused and less distracted, you will begin to demonstrate a greater power and a greater certainty that will permeate whatever action is yours to take and whatever contribution is yours to make. And grace will be with you, for grace is wholehearted and comes from beyond the world.